Good morning, good vach, Shavua Tov. Hope everyone is well and had a wonderful Shabbos. Today's learning is dedicated, as every day, in memory of all those whose Yortzeit falls today, as well as all those that we are saying Kaddish for during the year. Good morning, Eitan, Clarice, Peter, and David, and Estelle, and all those that are still joining us. So if I was to ask you whether you have any snakes in your life, you would probably look at me rather surprised. And yet, I think at the end of this, we'll have a very different perspective. This week's parsha comes on the heels of several complaints by the Jewish people. We complain generally about the food. The sushi wasn't quite good enough. And all the other things that we complain about, the food, the drink, the journey. And after this, we know that as a result of these murmurings and complaints, there was a divine retribution. Snakes were sent by the Almighty, and many people died in this plague. People prayed and came to Moshe, beseeching him to ask God to remove the snakes and to heal the Jewish people. And Moshe was told by God to take poles and place on them snakes, copper snakes, not real ones. And the Jewish people were meant to look at that, and that would be the antidote. That would be the answer to their problems and their ills. And the question is obvious, friends. The whole problem here was that snakes were biting them. That was the enemy. That was the ailment. Why would you then create copper snakes to look at when that is the very thing that is causing pain and distress to the Jewish people? And the answer I want to share with you in a roundabout way. There was a wonderful great thinker, philosopher in the 1950s called Wittgenstein. And Wittgenstein examined and observed a fly that was trapped in a bottle. And when that fly was trapped in the bottle, it would bang its head from on both all the sides as it tried to escape. And eventually, despite its best efforts, it found itself time and again unable to escape from the bottle, and it fell to the bottom of the bottle and died. And Wittgenstein said, the escape, the exit, the solution to all its ills and problems was just above it. All it had to do was to look up, and it would have been able to escape. But instead of looking up, it looked down, and therefore it continued in the same path of destruction. In a similar vein, there was we're going back a bit, but there was an archaeologist, I forget his name, in northern Spain, and he discovered, Rabbi Sachs tells the story that he had heard that there had been an ancient nation that had been living in a certain area, in a cave area in Spain, in northern Spain, and therefore he decided to excavate the area. And he dug and dug and dug, and he didn't find any evidence, any remains, any artifacts that would suggest that there was this ancient people that had lived in the area. And one day he brought his daughter Maria with him as he continued on his expedition, on his excavations. And whilst he was looking down, digging into the ground, she was holding a torch, and she looked up. And when she looked up, she saw the most exquisite paintings and carvings of oxen and an ancient nation that once was on the walls. And they discovered a hidden treasure simply because instead of looking down, they looked up. That, friends, is precisely what the Jewish people were being asked to do right now. Very often when we have problems, the Jewish people had a problem. They were too focused around that particular problem. They weren't being able to see things in a wider context, in a wider lens, and therefore they kept complaining and murmuring, and they couldn't get themselves out of it, like the fly hitting its head against the side of the bottle. Moshe was told by God to take a copper snake and to put it on a pole, and the Jewish people should look at it. Rather than it being seeing your problems as problems, See them as opportunities for growth. That is what the Almighty was showing the Jewish people. You're looking down. You're looking with microscopic detail and analyzing, over analyzing what is going on in front of your eyes. If we take a step back and we look at the true vista in our lives, we're able to put things in perspective and to recognize that reality, every challenge, every hurdle that we face, it's really an opportunity for us to grow, to lift ourselves up, to transcend and transform our physical selves and to achieve great things. That was the idea. The snake that was can lift them up, like the snake on the pole, or you could just stay very earthly, in dealing with issues of food. And I think that is a message for all of us in the challenges that we face. And no one is trying to minimize or to belittle the tremendous challenges and hurdles that we all face in our daily lives, in particular in the current climate. But one of the things that we should do is we should be able sometimes to take a step back and to move away from the detail and to be able to put things in perspective. And hopefully in being able to do so, we'll be able to look up rather than down in our lives and the lives of our family and those around us, and being able to live lives that are truly meaningful, fulfilling and inspiring to ourselves, our family and all those around us. Wishing everyone well. Have a great day. We're going to conclude now with Psalm 23 and the memorial prayer. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even as I walk in the valley of death, the shadow of death, or fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You set a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. May goodness and kindness pursue me the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the length of days. Memorial prayer. Adonai Lamim Zocho es nishmois shalchu li olamam anabel rachamim tasrim seitzekanafecha li olamim v'titzo b'sachem seshmosam v'yanucha mishmosam b'shalom v'nomar amen. Lastly, refuah shalema to everyone who are unwell. A number of people have COVID. Mishabech of Sin Romans of Yaakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Yivarach Rebbe Zecholim Babu Shana Mispalim Babu Rams Zechar the Kadosh Baruch Hu Yimale Rachem Aleihem Lachmon Chosam Bishlach Lem Fushel Mishma Melchol Rebbe Besoshach Yisrael Refuah Sanefesh V'Sakov Hashtag Makariv and Amen. Wishing you all well. Have a great day. Have a great week. Drink plenty, and looking forward, I'm sure you will be, to the Wimbledon final. And looking forward, more importantly, to a beautiful chuppah this afternoon, a barbecue, and so many other things that are going on in my diary today. But hopefully we'll catch up on Wimbledon later. Enjoy the strawberries and cream. Take care.